The leader of one of the world's largest tech giants faces off against one of the biggest voices on a social media platform. Today, we're diving into a question that will spark a lot of conversation. Are we really free? Social media has become the center of our lives. Every moment, every thought, every action leaves a digital trace, a photo, a video, a comment. These are some of today's most powerful tools. But how safe are these tools? How free are they? And most importantly, are we really able to use this freedom? Today, two powerful voices are coming together to search for answers to these questions. Both are figures who have changed the world and shaken societal norms. But their understanding of freedom is very different. Elon Musk, the most recognized name in technology and space, took on a mission to champion social media freedom when he acquired Twitter. For him, freedom means breaking down boundaries, allowing every individual to have their voice heard. However, he also argues that misinformation, hate speech, and harmful content need to be kept in check. As Musk works to create his own version of freedom on social media, he has become one of the forces shaping society. But is he really free? Is the freedom he offers always safe and fair? On the other side, we have a young social media star from TikTok, a rising influencer who amplifies the voice of the new generation. This young person is using the power of social media correctly and advocates for freedom. For them, social media freedom means everyone being able to express their opinions openly. "You can't silence me," they say. With youthful energy, they declare freedom means sharing what I want and saying what I think. However, this freedom also brings chaos. Malicious content, misinformation, and social polarization are just a few of the darker sides of social media. So, should every idea be expressed on every platform? Or are some limits necessary to protect society? This is not just an ordinary debate. Today, we present to you a confrontation between Elon Musk and a young TikTok star on social media and freedom. Both are defending their own truths. One side argues that freedom should have no boundaries, while the other side says social media freedom can threaten societal order. The TikTok star believes in the power of social media. They defend the absolute right to freedom. They use the power of social media to make the voices of young people and ordinary people heard. To them, freedom comes before everything else. This belief has made them a force that attracts millions of followers. But should every thought be given a platform? In the realm of TikTok, healthy discussions sometimes give way to insults, misinformation, and prejudice. This does not escape the notice of this young star. Elon Musk, on the other hand, is trying to prevent the uncontrolled growth of social media. After purchasing Twitter, he wanted to make the platform a free space. But how free? Should everything really be shared, or are some boundaries necessary? Musk talks about the need for content moderation. For him, freedom is not only the right to express oneself, but also the shaping of freedom by preventing misinformation and harmful content. But there's one question: how should freedom really be protected? Today, Elon Musk's revolutionary perspective in the tech world will clash with the young, bold, and sometimes provocative views of a TikTok star. Both are fighting for what they believe is a just, fair, and free world. However, is true freedom always that clear-cut? What does freedom really mean? Let's see which of these two worlds will create a real revolution on social media. In a large studio setting, the stage is arranged with a big podium. On either side of the stage are large screens that will occasionally display images of Elon Musk and the TikTok star. The lighting is strong, but the atmosphere is somewhat tense. Cameras focus on the studio after a brief promo segment, with background sounds of the excited anticipation of the audience. Both sides are filled with curious eyes. As Elon Musk and the TikTok star step into the studio, each reflects their personal style through their attire. The audience's voices are slightly hushed, but they are eagerly watching the arrival of both figures. Elon Musk steps onto the stage wearing a classic black suit and a light-colored shirt. His glasses lend him a serious yet relaxed aura. As always, there's a distinct determination in his face, occasionally coupled with an inscrutable smile. He makes eye contact with the audience for a few seconds, nods in greeting, and steps towards the back of the stage. His current mood, however, is one of extreme caution and readiness for the debate ahead. The TikTok star enters the stage in a more youthful, casual, yet stylish manner. Dressed in the latest fashion trends, wide-legged pants, a colorful t-shirt, and sneakers. The look on their face is one of tension mixed with energy. Their eyes are bright, almost as if they've been prepared for this moment. They smile at the audience as they begin, but there's an air of imminent explosion about them. Their posture represents the vitality of youth and a desire to challenge. Both figures take their seats at the tables. The tension between them is palpable, and the audience listens carefully, eager to hear their first words. Host: Today, we're having an important discussion about the freedom of social media. Both sides have different views on this matter. Now, I'll ask each of you to share your thoughts. Elon Musk, let's start with you. Why is social media freedom so important? Elon Musk, after a few seconds of silence, continues to stare intently at the camera in front of him. Before speaking, he takes a deep breath and begins to talk. Social media is creating one of the greatest communication revolutions in our history. Every individual should be able to share their thoughts and ideas. True freedom is being able to express our thoughts and feelings without being blocked. Today, millions of people around the world are coming together on social media. But there is one condition for this freedom: responsibility. The audience becomes more attentive. Elon Musk's calm yet strong demeanor reflects his confidence. On the other side, the TikTok star listens a little more tensely. The expression on their face seems to say, "This is not right." Their eyes flicker with a challenge to what Musk just said. Suddenly they can't hold back and speak up. TikTok star: About this responsibility issue, I think freedom should be free from any form of censorship. Us young people, whether right or wrong, believe everyone should be able to express their opinion. What people think, what they feel, that matters. They have to hear our voices. You can't silence us. As the TikTok star's voice rises, there's a palpable tension on stage. Elon Musk watches calmly, but the sharp look in his eyes makes it clear what he's thinking. The TikTok star's speed and excitement are drawing the audience's full attention. The audience waits for the energy to reach a boiling point. Elon Musk: Don't get me wrong, freedom is incredibly important. But freedom can't just be limited to expressing an opinion. Societies are also responsible for the accuracy and safety of the content that is shared. When lies and misinformation spread on a platform, it threatens everyone's freedom. The TikTok star steps forward with every point Musk makes, reacting strongly. Their eyes are determined, insisting that freedom should never be restricted. They pause for a moment, then continue speaking. TikTok star: But every opinion matters. Yes, people can make mistakes, but making mistakes means learning. If we start putting limits on every post, can we still talk about freedom? Elon, your approach is actually limiting freedom. It doesn't give anyone the chance to correct their mistakes. The tension on stage intensifies. The audience is on the edge, almost anticipating an explosion. The camera zooms in on both figures' facial expressions. Elon Musk's eyes show sharp determination, while the TikTok star's eyes are full of youthful courage and passion. The host interrupts: I think you both have very different ideas on the limits of freedom. So, how free should it really be? Should we intervene in what people say on social media, or should it be completely unrestricted? Let's take one more step to answer this question. Now, the debate between Elon Musk and the TikTok star has heated up even more. The audience listens intently to every word, some nodding in agreement, others shaking their heads in disagreement. Cameras catch glimpses of the audience in the background at brief intervals, reflecting the movements, tone of voice, and body language of both figures for the viewers. The host slowly interjects, attempting to ease the tense atmosphere. This is a very important point. Is freedom a concept with limits, or is it about expressing everything? Elon Musk, in your view, how should regulation be applied to misinformation and harmful content? TikTok star, you argue that freedom of expression should be absolute. How can this gap between you be bridged? Let's take this question one step deeper. Musk pauses for a moment. He takes a deep breath, then speaks with determination. Elon Musk. You see, social media is a space where millions of people interact every day. Freedom is not just about freedom of expression. It's about human rights. If the information someone shares is false, it may need to be intervened with, because that information affects not only that individual, but society as a whole. It's not about freedom here, it's about responsibility. Lies and hate speech destroy the fabric of societies. Our freedom is limited by the need to protect the safety and rights of others. Immediately following Musk's statement, the TikTok star jumps in. Their tone has sharpened, their eyes noticeably hardening as they struggle to control their excitement. TikTok star. What about silencing people? Us young people, we have to take every opportunity to make our voices heard in this world we live in. If someone's opinion is wrong, sure, they can change their mind. But we can't solve it by silencing them. We have to see our mistakes and take action against them. That's why freedom means every individual finding their own path. The discussion intensifies, heightening the tension in the studio. The audience seems divided, some gravitating more toward the TikTok star, while others side with Elon Musk. There are people listening with mouths agape. A silence falls over the room, but it feels like a ticking time bomb about to explode. The host, trying to raise awareness. Such a striking point. Elon Musk speaks of maintaining societal order, while the TikTok star insists on defending individual freedoms. In this case, finding the balance between societal safety and individual liberty is indeed difficult. However, one thing is clear. This discussion is important not just for social media, but for the entire future of the digital world. So, how responsible should such a massive power, social media, be? The TikTok star settles slightly, but their energy is still palpable. Without changing their stance, they take a moment to think before speaking again. TikTok star. Social media isn't just for entertainment. These platforms shape our lives. We share our daily lives, our struggles, our joys, our problems. If you silence one person, you're not just silencing one voice. You're silencing the entire youth. Freedom isn't just important for individuals, it's vital for societies as well. For us young people, these platforms show us the real face of life. At this moment, Elon Musk gazes at the TikTok star with a more careful look. His expression seems to reflect deep thoughts. He falls silent for a brief moment. The audience watches this moment on stage with intense focus. Elon Musk. Freedom is not just a right, it's also a responsibility. But the enthusiasm of young people is, I think, very important. I understand your desire to make your voice heard. But as leaders of technology, we must advocate for this to be done in a safe and secure manner. Sometimes what we see as freedom can cause the system to collapse. Social media should be a tool for us to achieve our goals. But everything within this tool must be kept under control. As the debate intensifies, the host intervenes. The audience begins raising their hands to support one side or the other. The voices grow louder, but they're still watching with great interest. Host. At this point, a crucial distinction emerges. Both sides talk about freedom, but they have different views on the nature of freedom. Elon Musk's perspective prioritizes the safety of society, while the TikTok star's viewpoint focuses on individual liberty. Both sides have valid points, but in the end, we must ask ourselves, does social media freedom jeopardize the safety of society? Or should everyone be free to express whatever they want? The stage is heating up with this question. Both sides are preparing for their final statements. Tension is at its peak. A tense silence settles. Elon Musk and the TikTok star stare at each other. Both sides' eyes are fixed with determination to defend their ideologies. The host carefully observes this moment and can feel the energy of the audience. The audience turns their gaze to the two speakers. In the background, there's a subtle discomfort with whispers heard. The tension continues to rise. Host. This has been an incredibly valuable discussion. Now, I'm giving both sides one last chance to speak. If you'd like to share your final words, now is the time. Elon Musk tilts his head slightly and thoughtfully looks at the audience. He takes a moment, but then steps forward, clarifying his words even further. Elon Musk. Social media is a part of the daily life of millions of people around the world. That's why we must not forget that both freedom and security are important. If hate speech or misinformation spreads on a platform, the very foundations of societies can be shaken. Our job should be to create that balance, but we must move forward not just through freedom, but through responsibilities. This is important for every individual. People can mislead each other, but that does not mean freedom should be restricted. We all have a responsibility to speak the truth, and when we fail to meet that responsibility, freedom is lost. Elon Musk emphasizes his words with one final look and then leans back. His eyes remain firm as he watches the audience's reactions. The host observes him carefully. TikTok phenomenon. You've raised a really important point, Elon. But I ask this, why are we so afraid? People are afraid of putting up barriers, of saying what they really think. For us young people, social media is a space for freedom, a chance to give voice. If we think everything needs to be controlled, then one day there will be just one voice deciding what everyone can say. This world will be shaped by the views of just a few. That's not freedom. Everyone should be able to tell their own story. Freedom means making mistakes, sometimes saying something wrong. You can't regulate that. If something's wrong, people will correct it on their own. A society should learn from its mistakes. I believe in absolute freedom, because otherwise we wouldn't be free. After finishing their statement, the TikTok phenomenon holds their head high and looks at the audience with great courage. Around them, a few audience members are applauding this youthful perspective, while on the other side, the silent gaze of those who admire Elon Musk is also noticeable. The atmosphere in the studio heats up with what both of them have said. Host slowly intervenes, trying to balance the atmosphere. This is, in essence, a polarization. Two strong views, searching for a balance between freedom and security. But one thing is clear. Both sides share the desire to amplify everyone's voice in a changing world order. Elon Musk emphasizes the importance of order on social media, while the TikTok phenomenon defends the unlimited nature of freedom. This point shows that both perspectives have their own strengths. For a moment, everything stops. There is a brief silence in the studio as the audience looks at one another. Then, what the two figures said echoes in the air, and the audience begins talking among themselves. Audience members whispering in the background, which is more important, freedom or security? How right is it to be able to share everything? Should some things really be controlled? Why are young people so passionate? Elon Musk might be right, but freedom really is important. Conversations among the audience members rapidly increase, further heightening the tension in the moment. But on stage, both figures remain silent, observing the impact of their words. Each of them has defended their viewpoint. The intensity in their eyes shows that this debate is not just a conversation, but a societal question mark. Host, closing words. This debate is not just about a difference of opinion. It's a conflict between the future generation and the past. A powerful discussion that emphasizes both the importance of freedom and security. Everyone here today has realized that this issue is not limited to just social media. The kind of freedom we will have in the future digital world will be shaped by discussions like this, and this is just the beginning. By leaving these questions with us, we conclude this session. The host raises their hand, signaling for the audience to give a final round of applause. The debate ends, but the tension on stage and the discussions among the audience continue. People start discussing their thoughts with one another. The host takes one last look at Elon Musk and the TikTok phenomenon, then turns toward the audience holding the microphone. The unease in the studio still lingers, but everyone is paying close attention. What both figures have said echoes in the audience's minds. The viewers can feel that the debate is not truly over. There is no clear solution, but there are many thoughts. Host, in a serious tone. Today, we witnessed an incredibly important discussion. The balance between social media freedom and societal security may be one of the most important questions of the digital age we are currently living in. Elon Musk and the TikTok phenomenon both defended their perspectives powerfully. However, both sides have valid points. Freedom is one of the most valuable rights for societies, but security is just as important. Ultimately, as a society, we will come to a clearer understanding of how to balance the two over time. The host pauses for a moment, looking at the stage. There is silence among the audience, but it feels like something still hangs in the air. There is no definitive answer to the debate, but what both sides have said leaves many questions in the minds of the viewers. Host, continuing, maybe social media should just be a tool, but this tool needs to be used very carefully. People should be able to express themselves freely, but the security of society should not be ignored. Finding this balance is, of course, a difficult task. However, as you can see, each perspective holds an important truth. We all want a world where we can make our voices heard. But in this world, it is also important to not harm each other, to exist with honesty and respect. This debate ends here, but the thoughts and questions continue in our minds. The host takes one last look at the audience, and a sense of relief is visible. Many people nod thoughtfully. On stage, Elon Musk and the TikTok phenomenon look at each other. Both smile quietly with mutual respect. Perhaps their views won't change, but this moment will leave a different mark in each of their minds. Host, closing. What we have discussed here today not only questions the understanding of freedom in the digital world, but also shows us what kind of society we want to live in. These questions apply not only to social media users, but to everyone. We all dream of a freer, safer world. But how we will strike a balance between these two values might be the most important question of our future. As we end this debate, I leave you with this important question. How can we balance social media freedom and security? The stage is filled with applause from the audience. The camera shows Elon Musk and the TikTok phenomenon exchanging a final look and hugging. Two different worldviews ultimately end with respect and understanding. In the background, the audience continues talking, each person processing the debate in their own way. The cameras capture the final moments of the studio and the crowd. Host. Thank you for watching this broadcast. Remember, social media is a tool, but how we use it and express ourselves is completely in our hands. In the next episode, we will delve into another topic. See you then. Goodbye. Two different perspectives seem to be getting closer to each other through this discussion. But perhaps the real question we need to ask is it really possible to find a balance? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.